What if I told you that your morality isn't yours? What if the values you hold so dear, your sense of right and wrong, are nothing more than a product of history, culture, and perhaps a little manipulation? This is the provocative claim Friedrich Nietzsche makes in his groundbreaking work, Human, All Too Human. In this video, we'll explore why Nietzsche believed you'll never be truly moral, how he dismantled the very foundation of morality, and what this means for you in today's world. Let's start with the basics. Human, All Too Human was written in 1878 during a pivotal moment in Nietzsche's life. He had just broken away from his friendship with Richard Wagner and was distancing himself from the romanticism and idealism that had once defined his thinking. This book marked a turning point, a shift toward a more critical and scientific approach to philosophy. And at the heart of this shift was a single, radical question: what is morality? Nietzsche argued that morality is not some divine truth handed down from the heavens. Instead, it's a human construct, a set of rules and values created by societies to maintain order and control. He called this the genealogy of morals. To understand morality, Nietzsche said, we must trace its origins, and when we do, we find something unsettling. Morality is rooted in power. But what does it mean for morality to be rooted in power? Nietzsche believed that morality was born out of a struggle between the powerful and the powerless. The powerful, those who ruled, created values that celebrated strength, ambition, and dominance. These were the master moralities, but the powerless, the oppressed, resented this. They couldn't compete with the strong, so they created their own values: humility, compassion, and self-sacrifice. Nietzsche called this the slave morality. And here's the kicker. Slave morality won. Through religion, especially Christianity, slave morality became the dominant moral system in the West. It taught people to feel guilty for their desires, to suppress their instincts, and to worship weakness as a virtue. Nietzsche saw this as a tragedy. He believed that by embracing slave morality, humanity had turned its back on life itself. Instead of celebrating our natural instincts and striving for greatness, we were taught to feel ashamed of who we are. But Nietzsche didn't stop there. He believed that this moral system, rooted in resentment, had a profound impact on how we see ourselves in the world. Think about it. How often do we judge ourselves harshly for wanting more out of life? How often do we suppress our ambitions because we're told they're selfish or wrong? Nietzsche argued that this internal conflict, this war between our natural instincts and the moral values imposed on us, is one of the greatest sources of human suffering. So what does this mean for you? Nietzsche's message is clear. If you want to be free, you must question your morality. Ask yourself, where do your values come from? Are they truly yours? Or have they been imposed on you by society, religion, or tradition? This is what Nietzsche meant by becoming who you are. To live authentically, you must break free from the moral systems that have been handed down to you and create your own values. But here's the challenge. Nietzsche didn't believe this was easy. In fact, he thought it was one of the hardest things a person could do. Why? Because it requires you to confront some uncomfortable truths about yourself and the world. For example, Nietzsche believed that most people cling to morality because it gives them a sense of security. It tells them what's right and wrong, what's good and evil. Without it, they feel lost. But Nietzsche argued that this security is an illusion. The world is not black and white. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and full of contradictions. To truly embrace life, you must learn to live with this uncertainty. And that's where Nietzsche's concept of the free spirit comes in. A free spirit is someone who has the courage to question everything, to let go of old beliefs and to embrace the chaos of life. It's not about rejecting morality entirely, it's about creating a new morality, one that is rooted in life, not in fear or resentment. So where does this leave us? Nietzsche didn't want to destroy morality for the sake of destruction. He wanted to liberate us from the constraints of outdated moral systems so that we could create something new, something that celebrates life, creativity, and individuality. He called this the path to the Übermensch, or overman, a person who transcends traditional morality and lives according to their own values. But what does it mean to live as an Übermensch? Nietzsche described the Übermensch as someone who embraces life in all its complexity, who creates their own meaning, and who is not afraid to stand alone. It's a bold and challenging vision, but it's also deeply inspiring. Nietzsche believed that by striving to become an Übermensch, we could overcome the limitations of our current moral systems and unlock our full potential as human beings. So the next time you find yourself questioning what's right or wrong, remember Nietzsche's challenge. Don't just follow the rules, question them. Because in the end, the only way to be truly moral is to create a morality that's truly yours. And here's the final thought. Nietzsche didn't write Human All Too Human to give us easy answers. He wrote it to provoke us, to challenge us, and to inspire us to think for ourselves. So as you go about your day, ask yourself, what values are you living by? Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? And most importantly, are they truly yours?